Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Blitz. Today I'm going to be showing you 4 plays to create a mini scheme out of the formation gun tight slot open, and it's going to be best ran out of the Iowa playbook. Also, if there's a formation you want to see me make a mini scheme out of, let me know down in the comments. All right, let's get it going. So the first play I want to highlight here is a running play. It's the halfback direct snap. Now I'm just going to run it here. I'm going to run straight to the sideline. I mean, look at this. This is like the easiest 8 yards of your life. I mean, the easiest 8 yards of your life. I'll run it again just to show you it works. But, I mean, like, that's a great running play, especially out of shotgun. For a shotgun running play, that's really, really, really good. Now, there's 2 things I want to highlight about this play specifically. Number 1 is, look how I'm just able to get to the sideline and get out of bounds. Now, that's really good because it avoids the wear and tear system. Now, obviously, if you're facing different defensive looks, they're going to defend it differently. So maybe the sideline isn't as readily available to you as maybe against other certain looks. That's probably possible. But the fact that you can get anywhere from, let's just say, 3 to 8 yards on just running to the sideline and getting out of bounds to completely avoid the wear and tear, dude, that is so valuable. I will even talk about it from a defensive standpoint. If you're facing someone who runs the ball like a lot of what you're banking on is that you can get hits on that running back throughout the game, so that way the wear and tear system will cause a fumble eventually by landing hit sticks and getting them hurt and that stuff, or their ratings will get so low that they'll be less effective in the run game. But with this run play right here, I mean, I'll show you it yet again. You're able to get 8 yards and get out of bounds. I'm sorry, that was 6 yards there. He got off a block. But the fact that you can get that many yards and get out of bounds, completely avoiding the wear and tear system, that's a unique thing in the running game. I don't think that there's that many running plays or running concepts that's the case. Now, the second thing I want to highlight about this, and then we'll get along. I'm talking way too long about a run play, but I just think it's important to note these things. The second part about this that's so interesting, again, with the sideline so available to us in this, and it would even be more available if we were on a hash. You see we're in the middle of the field. If we were on the right hash, it would even be closer. So the second thing I want to highlight about this play is a time clock situation. So, like, let's say we're at halftime, right? Let's say we're not at halftime. We're closing in on halftime. Let's say there's maybe like 50 seconds to a minute and a half left in the half, right? Usually, from an offensive standpoint, a good player is looking, let's say we're at this point in the field, we're on the 40 on our side of the field. We're looking to probably throw the ball here, right? We're trying to get a lot of yards. We got about 50 seconds to a minute and a half left. We need to get yards. We need to get out the field. We need to get out of bounds as well. Now, the defense knows that, right? So they're probably going to come out and pass defense as they should. That's a smart thing to do, which even opens up the run game even more. So now let's talk about numbers here. If there's 54 seconds left in the half, and we're at this point of the field, he's in pass defense, and we're able to do this: 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. We just ran the ball in a passing situation. We took 4 seconds off the clock, just 4 seconds, and we just got 6 to 7 yards. That causes a massive, massive problem for the defense if you're able to do that effectively. So again, those are just like 2 key things that I thought you should keep in your mind when you're running this play. Now you can also flip it. You can also run it to the left too. So this looks like a little unique look. You can run it up the middle, or you can whip it out to the outside. Obviously, this is a great look. I'm just going to go down to save time, but that's a great look as well. You can flip it to the other side. And also, I would advise you run this once or twice a game. If you use this scheme, I would motion over your tight end and do this. Now, does this greatly improve the blocking? I don't think so. But what's happening is we're going to set up something for later that I'll show you as a cover 2 bomb or a really good cover 2 beater play. So, like, the play works well. Wow, great block shed by that guy. We were able to get back to the line of scrimmage. But go ahead and run that once or twice because it's a setup. We want the defense to think every time we motion over that tight end, that's going to be a run play, and then we're going to hit them big. So the next play I want to talk about is RPO peak slant. I think this isn't really, again, my style of play, but I do think it works really, really well. You have some pretty obvious reads here. No read football in a sense, but yeah, if you read zone on this, right, I think your flat's going to be open pretty consistently. So you can throw this over there. Again, really easy yards. You get break tackles. I mean, so many broken tackles in this game. Take your underneath stuff, guys. I'm going to say it over and over and over again. You have bombs in this game. You have bombs in this formation I'm going to show you. But take your underneath stuff because you never know what can happen. Anything can go for a touchdown. So if it's zone, you have that. Obviously, I think the run play is pretty decent as well. Let's see if we can get out here. We can. That's good yardage. That's really good yardage. And against a man, I'm going to say this with a caution. I think man is a little bit inconsistent sometimes, but I have noticed. So I'm gonna change this to man, right? So they're in man defense right now. Look for your slant here. I think you can throw this. I think you can throw this fairly consistently. Okay, so he was able to come down with it there. Obviously, the user is a factor in that, but maybe they won't guard it because they know you can hand it off out of this play. And obviously, that's even a scarier throw if you throw it against, like, the zone. Like I just threw it against the Tampa 2 right there. But here's the other part of this play that I wanted to highlight. Let's respot the ball. I think this is a really good red zone play. So me as a passer, I do struggle in the red zone. I struggle inside the 5 a lot because there's just not much field to do. But this play right here, look at it. So they're in a – I'll show you the defense again. They're in a Tampa 2, right? Free touchdown. I mean, it's like the easiest read of your life. Like, look at that. Free touchdown, and if they go to man, I'll show you this man again. So they're in man, and this time it's kind of pressed. Since they're all the way, I have not pressed the defense, but since they're so close to the end zone, they're kind of automatically kind of pressed like that. Let's look for our slant here, see if we can hit it. And we can. Touchdown. I mean, this is a really good red zone play, so definitely utilize this when you get inside the 10, inside the 5. All right, now let's talk about PA read. Now I'm going to show you how to beat every coverage with this play and the other play too. So let's go over man first. You can see we're in a man blitz, cover 0 blitz. There's a lot of ways you can beat man in this play, as well as the next play, which is my favorite play in this whole formation. But for this one, I would just take away the play action, first of all, and I would put B on a drag. Put, what was that, Cook the second or something like that? Put him on a drag. Now, you can now throw any route on this field right now. Any route. So you can hit your zig for a few yards, right? Just go ahead and go down, get it a bounce. You can throw your drag, you can throw your crosser, you can throw your post, you can throw any of these plays. So this is just like the simplest setup. But there's a couple different things you can do for this. It's not showing the play art because it's a glitch in the practice facility, but I've got B on a drag and RB as blocking. You can hit your drag for a ton of yards, honestly. Sometimes they don't even touch them, and you can just go up the field easily. So let's hit our crosser just to show you we can hit it. We'll hit the crosser and the post. So we were able to catch it. The reason why that was so close is because it kind of got bumped at the beginning of the route. Let me run it again, see if I can get it just a little bit more open than that. Okay, well, it's not cooperating right now, but you can obviously throw that. We have 2 completed passes, so you see the deal with that. And lastly is the post route. Now, this post route out of this position is going to be the premier route on this play and the next play, to be honest with you. But let's see if we can throw this. Cool. Of the 2 plays. So let's see if we can hit it here. Let's go. 1 play touchdown. Easy. And you're going to have to judge it for yourself, leading the ball with the pass lead either up and to the right or straight right. Sometimes it's a little scary to try to go up and to the right because they can undercut it. I've thrown 1,000 picks doing that, so trust me, I know. Another thing you can do, pay attention to your personnel, guys. So, you can just put, for example, Isaiah Bond. I think his name's Isaiah Bond. Maybe his first name's not Isaiah. I'm not sure. But look at the ability on Isaiah Bond. So look at this number 7 right here on the left side of your screen, that wide receiver. Look at that bottom ability with the rocket. That's takeoff. So he's got gold takeoff, which means he gets really good releases off the line of scrimmage. So, if we put him on a streak, we can actually just throw this as well. Boom. Touchdown. And he just straight up beats his man off the line. So pay attention to that type of personnel as well. Again, I showed you the easiest setup, but honestly, you can flip this as well, knowing that about one of your players, about Isaiah Bond, right? And obviously, there's other players in the game with this ability as well. But you can just keep him on a streak, maybe just run this stock like this against man. He'll run right by him. Getting screamed at. Practice facility pass rush, right? But let's flip it again. Blocking the running back. Boom, and he just beats his man off the streak. So that's how you beat man with PA read. Now we're going to talk about PA read versus cover 2, and there's a lot to break down here, so hang with me. Cover 2 is a relatively easy shell to kind of break open, I'll be honest with you. And you can just run this play stock as is. Maybe take the running back off the play action, but I'm going to show you something glitchy about that here in a second. Not really glitchy, but just the way it works with the linebacker, the relationship between play action and the linebackers. But The first thing I would tell you is, how do you know it's cover 2? Well, let's talk about read keys. So obviously we're in a Tampa 2 right now. I'm showing you that right now on the other controller. Now what you'll notice about all cover 2s is that they have kind of the same. A surefire way to know that you've got a cover 2 is the cover 2 top safety, right? But they can disguise that. So now what do you look at? You look at the corners. Look at both the outside corners for the defense right here. They're both flat-footed. They're facing straight forward. And what's similar? They're at the exact same elevation. They're exactly 5 yards off. Now, the amount of yards off they are isn't quite as important as the fact that they're at the same elevation. So sometimes they'll be 6 yards off, sometimes they'll be 3 yards off. But that 5 yards off is the most popular one. So if they're at the same elevation like that, both facing up, it's probably a cover 2. So that way that's how you know that it's a cover 2, and you're probably going to throw a touchdown. Now, I'm going to run it just like this. I'm going to run it from the middle of the field, the right hash, and the left hash, because there's different things to show you. Now, you already read that it's cover 2, so let's run it just as is. I'm going to take off the play action. You got your high-low read between the crosser and the zig, right? So you'll be able to probably hit your zig pretty consistently, right? That's easy. That's easy. So I'm going to get on the other controller. I'm going to shade it down and show you that you can hit your crossing route. So now I got hard flats on the field, right? So you got your, oh, whoops, I accidentally left the play action. But you got your high-low read, and obviously the crosser's open. That's the only time I'm going to explain that. You have that on right hash, left hash, any iteration of this play, you have that high-low read for you, right? Okay, so let me show you something glitchy. Now, if you want to throw this post route does get open against the cover 2. You want to throw this post route, though, without the play action. Look at it. You got the mid-read kind of making a play. Can you still throw that? Sure. Is it a little more scary? I would think so. I think it's a little scary. So the play action does take more time, but watch what it does to the linebackers. You leave the play action on and watch that middle read that just ran back to the post route. He's going to stay right there and give you the early dot right there. Okay, we practice facility shenanigans, but we're going to leave the play action on, watch that middle linebacker. He's going to stay put, and we're going to be able to throw it even earlier in the route, right? Boom. Touchdown. He didn't move. The play action freezes the linebackers to respect the run. So I call it a little glitchy because it's a little bit manipulating the defense to get open what you want to get open. Okay, so now let's run this from the right hash. Exact same play, exact same concept. Let's run it from the right hash. Let's see what happens. So exact same thing. You have the high-low read. Obviously, you have the post route. You leave the play action on. You're going to be able to throw the post route pretty early on. But watch what else opens up. You have the streak to the right side of the field opening up. Now, that is available to you in this specific scenario. So if you're on the right hash and you're running the play like this, again, keep in mind, it's still Tampa 2, right? You will have that streak available to you. Snap the ball. You have the post route too because we left the play action, but you also have that. Bad throw on my part. But you see what I'm saying. That's off the right hash. Now, let's go to the left hash. This is now going to show you, I'm trying to show you all the intricacies of the zones just based off where you start the play. Now, if you're on the left hash and you're running the play like this, it's going to be hard to complete this post route. And I'll show you why in a second. So we try to throw that here. Nah, not really doing, okay? But watch this. With this motioned over streak right here, we're going to be able to throw this post route a lot easier, even though we're on the left hash. Boom, touchdown. So what that streak did was drag that half farther to the right side of the field so that way we could pass lead it right and get the one-play touchdown. Now let's talk about PA read versus a cover 3. Now, the way I like to set this up, like if you're just trying to go for yards here, like you obviously have the, I'm not going to show it for the sake of time, but you have the high-low read on the right side. If they have hard flats on the field, you're going to have your crosser. And if they have curl flats on the field, the deeper purple zones, maybe like this defense does, you're going to have your zig open. So that's a very easy concept. I think we all know that at this point. But you also have the potential for a bomb out of this play as well. Now, I would say you can't have this streak on the field to the right. So if you're looking for that bomb play or at least want to have the option for it, I would just put him on anything, really. Throw it over the top. Yada, yada, yada. I mean, obviously that that differs from like wide receiver speed to like what that cornerback on the right, like this deep right blue, what their speed and zone is too. Obviously that differs, so you got to be aware of personnel. But that is a way to set it up. If you want to make for sure that you can throw this ball though, that's just the easy way to set up, and it gives you a potential for a bomb. But if you want to for sure guarantee, like set it up, you can do something like this even. Put B on a comeback and maybe just have this. This will make for sure that cover 3 bomb will get open. Boom. I mean, it's just like, see how much further away that right side blue is? So if you want to bomb cover 3 out of this play and you're specifically looking for that, you can do something like that. I'm sorry, it's also important to mention too, I forgot, that you have to be on a hash like this. Like, I say have to. I would just do it if I were you. It really opens up the spacing a lot better. It makes for sure that you can drag down that right blue to like run something, let's say like this, to get that blue to come down. But yeah, I would make sure you're on a hash for this. Now let's talk about my favorite play in this formation, double post. I really like this play versus man and zone. The only adjustment I would make for this against man, obviously you can do a bunch of different things versus man. You're going to have to change it up. If somebody's running a heavy man concept on you, you're going to have to change it up from play to play. But I would do something simple like this. Okay, well, hold on just a second. Every once in a while, I think I explained this earlier, every once in a while in the practice facility, you'll make adjustments to your play and it won't show in the play art. But the only adjustment I would make to this is put the tight end on a drag, and you can throw any route in this. Now, I would be aware this tight end drag does get open, but dude, it's just something about man, that just like bumps happen in the game, so you just got to be prepared to deal with it. But watch him, he gets a little bump, but you can still throw the drag. It'll get there. So you have your drag. You can throw any route on this play, I promise. You have the drag, you have the crosser, boom, big yards there. You can throw your in route early or late, so I'll show you both of those now. You can throw it early, there we go, just get it and get down. And you can also throw it late. I forgot to do the tight end, but you'll see. Boom, 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 boom. Lots of yards, lots of yards, lots of yards. And obviously you've probably already seen it at this point, but look at the post route. I mean, the post route, dude, this is such a good post route. Boom, touchdown. I didn't even pass lead that well. I should have pass led it more right. Now, you can do a few different things, kind of like on the last PA read too. I think you can get Isaiah Bond, someone who, like we know, has the ability to take off. You can get him open by just running him up the field as long as he's unpressed, right? And I think he'll probably win the press because he's a high overall receiver with high route running too. But you have the one-play touchdown in that way as well. All right, now let's talk about double post versus cover 2. Now, like I'm trying my best to keep this video short, but man, dude, I nerd out about this stuff. It's so exciting. It's cool because there's just so many different things you can do here, man. And I'm gonna show you 3 short setups. I don't want to just give y'all a setup and just have you run it, just because I told you to. I want you to understand, like, as someone who thinks pretty critically about the zones in this game and things like that, I want you to understand why things are open so that way you can create your own scheme. That would be my end goal, is to give you some thought processes and some ways to think about this stuff so that way you can create your own scheme in whatever formation you want. But if you read cover 2, like I said, talking about the read keys back to the corners being at the same elevation, face up with the outside receivers, or not face up, but they're facing straight forward, right? This is cover 2, obviously. This would be the setup I would do first. And man, there's so much to do. Okay, so you have your high-low read to the left, right? I'm not going to go too much into that, but if you shaded it down into a hard flat, you're going to have your crosser, and if you shade it up, you're going to have your flat. So we'll just run it like this. We have our flat because he's more shaded up. It's more of like a soft squat, I think. Here, let me double-check that too on the defense. It's a cloud flat. Okay, so they are playing a little bit deeper. So you're going to have your flat as opposed to whenever it was... I might as well show it. Oh, I accidentally pressed. That's not what I meant to do. We're going to shade underneath. So now they're in hard flat. So now we're going to have our crosser open on this. So all you need is time here to throw this. All you need is time. Boom. You have your crosser. And I could have even waited later so that way it was more to the sideline. So that way that like slot corner that backed up into a little, whatever. I think maybe a vert hook or something. He can't get to that ball if you throw it all the way to the sideline. So you have your high-low read. But now let's get to the exciting part of this. You have your post route, right? And we're in the middle of the field. Remember, the math changes. I already showed you on the last play how different a play can be just depending on what hash you're going from. But we're just doing it from the middle of the field. So this comeback route is not really designed to get open as much as it's designed to pull that right half more to the right. So it's very important that you have, if you don't have that, you cannot throw this ball. I'm telling you, you cannot throw this ball. But since that comeback route is pulling that half more to the right, you'll be able to throw that one play touchdown. So that's one way to do it. Here's another way to do it. You see this tight end route with, what's his name? I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. But the tight end, that's such a unique route. When I was looking at this, I was like, okay, how can I use this route? Because it's just an interesting route, right? Well, leading back to what I told you about the run play, we're setting up a play for this right here. So the motion over halfback direct snap that we motioned the tight end over, now it's not just that, right? Now it's a pass play. So I would do something probably like this. So that way you still have your high-low read to the left, but you also have these really unique patterns to the right. And you can throw this. Okay, bad. So you can throw this. Have your high-low read to the left. You obviously have your one-play touchdown up the middle, too, just like how we saw with that post route. And you also have this really unique, like, kind of corner route-looking thing over to the right to your tight end. I mean, isn't that... I mean, I think that's super dope. So just for the sake of it, I'm going to show you what this looks like on the left hash. So now let's try something different. Let's try a similar setup, but let's do it from the left hash. And I'm going to put a streak on the field if you're exclusively looking for a route like this. Look how much field there is for us to throw to the tight end. Boom. I mean, that is just like 1,000 yards, man. It ends up being a touchdown, too. That's such a good play. It's such a good setup. I'm going to show you one more time a different setup. We'll just run it from, I think, the middle of the field. Let's see if it works from the middle of the field. I think it will. But we are going to put this inside slot receiver on a wheel route. And I'm going to put the tight end on a drag. Watch this. Boom. Again, just another great play. Cover 2 is such a soft shell. If you just know the right route combos and how to manipulate the zones, you can get one play touchdown after one play touchdown versus cover 2, man. Especially if they're not bringing like a ton of pressure. But yeah, I'll just show you again how that works. So put a wheel route. Maybe you run something. Maybe you run something kind of like this. Not really sure. And boom. I mean, that is wide open. Not even close. Now the cover 3 setup, for double post is a little bit more. So you can see here we're in just a basic cover 3. It's a little more straightforward. I'm going to give you 2 setups for this. The first one is going to be just putting your tight end on a flat route, kind of like what we just did. Literally, is this the same setup that I gave you for cover 2 too? It might be, which, I mean, more power to you. This is one of the same setups. But I would advise you be on a hash for this, though. I think it is a lot harder to ball in these cover 3s when you're not on a hash. In fact, I think in some situations it's not possible. But if you're on a hash just like this, always be on the hash opposite of the tight end, if that makes sense. So, like, if the tight end's to the left, you want to be on the right hash. If the tight end's on the right, you want to be on the left hash. So you can see right here, we can pretty much throw every route except for the comeback. I wouldn't necessarily probably throw the comeback. I don't know, we might. If they're shaded down, you could probably throw it. But I know for a fact they're in a purple because I chose to play for the defense. But yeah, so you can throw your post for a cover 3 bomb. Obviously, that's probably pretty close. I mean, that's just wide open, dude. It's just wide open. But that's only made possible by that comeback route. So now I feel like I've showed this high-low read a couple times, but I'll go ahead and show it again. So let's just say, okay, hold on, it's doing the glitch again. Let me fix it. So let's just say that, like, let's say they're shaded down, right? So we got the same play. Let's go ahead and shade the defense down. I'll show you this. They're in hard flats. You're going to be able to throw your crosser pretty easily here. It's just about getting time. Boom, pass lead up. And again, I could have waited even later so that was even less scary, but he's not getting to that ball. And let's say that they're shaded over top. So now we have curl flats on the field. With the same setup, you're going to be able to throw your tight end flat route. Boom, and that's not even the curl flat. That's actually the vert hook. Or that's the inside guy. But anyway, that's the first setup for this cover 3 bomb. Another thing you could probably do is something maybe like this. Where you still have a high-low read on the left side, but you still have the cover 3 bomb, right? just to prove to you that can happen. The corner route also drags down the deep blue, right? And again, brother, it is just so open. It's crazy. But so you have the cover 3 bomb, obviously, in the corner route on the right is dragging down that right deep blue. And let's just see what it's given us as far as this read to the right. Or to the left, I mean. Okay, so we can throw our drag route pretty easily. And watch, we can even throw the corner route. Even though the defense hasn't changed from like shading down or up, we can throw both routes in this. That's another reason why I really like this play. This play set up like this, is we can still throw both routes. Boom, boom, with a good pass lead. There you go. So that's probably my favorite play in this formation, and that's why I just feel like it's so deadly. That post route just poses so many problems if you know how to set it up, man. All right, that's all I got for this one, fellas. If you're new and enjoy the content you see here, please leave a like and subscribe. That helps out the channel a ton. And be safe. Have a good one. I'll catch you in the next one. Blitz out.